Y'all know I'm shooting this at the end, right? Because I forgot, and then... Sorry, I tripped over a goat. I mean, there's a few in here. Soap sale yesterday was mind-blowing. Holy crap. Y'all, I spent 13 hours processing orders, and they were still coming in when I went to bed, and I was like, I gotta go to sleep. And so I woke up this morning with more orders. We do still have some soap in the shop. I'm not sure what it's down to now. I haven't checked it since I've been over here, but thank you guys. I'll just spat all over myself. Woo. Thank you for always supporting us. When I'm on here, guys, somebody mentioned this to me, and it's not a bad thing. They said, you know, you shouldn't be surprised that you sell out. The soaps are amazing. You guys do great customer service, and you offer a great product. So it's not a surprise that we sell out. Okay, I do have to be honest. It is a surprise. Still, I'm just a small town dude from Central Ohio, and started a YouTube channel, and now we sell some soap. So it does still surprise me that people from around the world buy our product, and that'll never leave me. That's who I am. It's humbling. It's humbling, and I always want to stay humble, and it is humbling when hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you guys show up and buy the soap. So surprised, yes and no. Humbling, always grateful. So that's what I'm doing these videos, thanking you guys for that. That's where it comes from. It really comes from the bottom of my heart. We love that you guys love our product, and we truly appreciate that you show up to buy it. And now I have about listen y'all. So, I'm trying not to die. So thank you, and here's today's question and answer video, and I'll do another one tomorrow wearing my blue shirt. How about that? Oh no, I had the camera faced the wrong way, and I didn't get the babies coming out. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. All right, to the person who is probably going to hopefully just watch this video. I've blocked all your ability to comment on this video or any other video or any of my other platforms. And maybe you just go ahead and unsubscribe right after you know who I'm talking to. Come here, baby. Mama Frosty. Come here, Mama Frosty. She's fine. She's absolutely fine. Anyway. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything else. She's fine. You can go pound sand. And this is cute. She has walked it off, if you will. And she got better all throughout yesterday. I tried to explain that while I hoped it wasn't an actual physical ailment that's causing her ankle to hurt, you just missed that. Literally Puddin just took Mochi, got up under her belly and flicked her off of the stand, and she did land on her feet. She almost landed flat on her side. Which is why we do not raise horned goats. Question number 1 answered. Goats like to poke things in the eye and fight, and we can't have horned goats mixed with our disbudded or polled goats. You can't show horned goats, at least Nigerian dwarf, in the ADGA ring and most 4-H clubs. You're not able to show horned goats. It's just a safety issue. They don't need to fight and protect themselves from any wild creatures here. I'm answering a whole bunch of questions, so just listen up. We do have coyotes out here. There's a pack that runs the ridge over there, and there's another ridge behind us. They run that way, and we are right on the divide line. And I think they do not, they don't come close to the line, so they stay away from each other. So 2 packs, we're on the divide, they don't come into the divide. It's like a neutral zone, so we're like in the perfect area. What do we breed for in goats? Blue-eyed, polled, meaning born with no horns, and blue eyes, and of course, beautifulness. No, it's not necessarily. We would not keep, for instance, we would be hard pressed to keep a ginger based on her brown eyes. But she is the most perfect chamois. Tic Tac is also a chamois, and I love Tic Tac. She has her really cool white strips on her. She's got moon spotting in her genes. Gingy has moon spots, but I've always wanted a chamois that looked like the descriptor of a chamois. If you guys heard that, that was Gummy eating my earbud, which is tan to cream, black dorsal ridge line. Faces vary, but I like the face stripes like that. Black belly. Get out of here, you goof. Black belly and legs like they've been dipped in paint. Her pedigree is off the charts, which is why we bought her. But we bought her knowing that we could breed her to our blue-eyed boys, and that would give us a chance of getting blue eyes. But we would never really intentionally keep a brown-eyed goat. Now, you'll see a lot of brown-eyed goats around here. We've changed our standards over time to what we were looking for. Because when we started this, and this is going to answer a whole bunch more questions. Why do we have sheep? We actually, when we built the barn, our youngest, man, she is just not going to walk that off. She's just probably going to die. I should have taken her straight to the $10,000 emergency room. Oof. Nope. She'll probably expire before the day's out. So my youngest son always loved the Old English Southdown baby doll sheep. And that's what these ladies are, and our gents. Old English Southdown baby doll. These are purebred sheep. However, they're not papered. The people we got them from have been raising purebred stock for like 3 generations. They just never did registry. So he wanted Old English Southdown baby doll sheep. They're known as the smiling sheep or the teddy bear sheep, and I'm sure you guys can totally see where that comes from. So we go to pick up these little beauties, and Pez and Mama, we go to pick them up, and the lovely H hears baby goats yelling from the other side of the barn, like they do when they're in the stall, guys, when they're yelling for mom in the morning. So she hears them yelling from the other side of the barn. She goes, I said, do not go down there. She said, I'm going down there. She went down there, of course, and she came back with holding 2 baby Nigerian dwarf goats, and she was just glowing. I mean, just glowing. I don't know how else to say it. She couldn't have smiled any bigger. Her whole face was lit up. Her whole persona was just glowing. And we bought those goats that day, but they weren't ready to be picked up. I think they still had 6 weeks before we could pick them up. So that put us on our journey to needing goats right now, which is not something she does. So when she starts doing something like that, I'm like, ooh. Sorry, I just had to check in on Struzy Booze. So we went out and we found... And we were just into pets, guys. We just wanted pet goats, and she loved them. So we went out and we found Struzel, and a goat that came with Struzel. Her name was, no, I'm doing that wrong. We went and found Cookie, Miss Cookie, and her sister, and her sister's name was, no, it wasn't that, it was Brownie. I don't, it was Brownie, not bah. So we found Cookie and Brownie. Brownie was pregnant. Nobody knows how that happened. Of course, when you buy backyard goats, and I'm telling you guys right now, these Cookie and Brownie were some backyard goats, but we didn't know what we were doing. She was magically pregnant. We didn't know, of course, and we didn't have any signs or indicators. She didn't really get bigger. She's built about like Cookie, who always looks pregnant. Hopefully she is, but I doubt it. Cookie has always looked this way, guys. She has always looked pregnant, but she's not been able to get pregnant. I'll get back to Brownie in a second. We have done all kinds of hormone treatments and different kind of treatments from the vet to stimulate her into heats, to clear any blocked ovaries, to increase her potential for releasing eggs so that she could get pregnant. We spent a lot of money in hormone treatments on her, and it has just never happened. So Brownie was pregnant. We had no idea what we were doing. We had no reason to believe she was pregnant. And I came over here to the barn one morning. We used to just leave these gates open because all we had was just this very small, hard farm fenced area. They couldn't go anywhere. This was all wide open, guys. From sea to shining sea, from corner to corner, this entire area was wide open. There were no barns here. There were no little houses there. There were no other fenced off areas. This was just wide open. I think we ended up with 4 sheep and 2 goats. So Brownie, I came over here in the morning. She was already outside. She was down here by the fence. I thought she was just eating grass. I was feeding everybody. She didn't come in. I looked out and I'm like, that does not look right. My brain could not wrap around what I was seeing, because what I was seeing is that she had 2 babies sticking out of her backside. And guys, the love I had for Brownie, she was just such a character. She would chase me on the mower, and she would run in the grass that was blowing out of the mower, and she would just shake her head and flick her body around like she was a supermodel running through a mister or something down the beach. It was adorable. It was hilarious. She was ornery. She used to eat all the stickers off my mower. She would, she was just, I really, really loved Brownie. She was such a sweetheart. The babies had died inside of her, and she was trying to birth them. And my first foray into birthing goats was pulling pieces of partially decomposing babies out of her, and there was nothing I could do. As I was pulling them out, they were falling apart. And we put her on antibiotics, but the infection that she had, because they had died inside of her long enough that by the time she started labor, she just developed an infection and she passed from that. So it was sad. That was Cookie and Brownie, but we had already, I think by that point, I can't remember if we had by that point gone and picked up Struzel and the enforcer, who we called Ninja Nosh. Her name was Ganache. We called her Ninja Nosh because you could be standing over by that fence all by yourself, and you turn around and look at the tree for half a second, and you turn back around and Ganache would be standing beside you. You wouldn't hear her, you wouldn't see her. She was a freaking ninja. She was also a major enforcer for Struzel. And the problem with her was that if Struzel even batted an eye at somebody or looked at them the wrong way, she would go at them almost to the death. Like, she would beat them beyond what she needed to. And she was just that kind of goat. She was perfectly nice to humans, but she took her enforcement role very, very seriously. And we were just afraid that she was going to injure somebody to the point where we would have to have them put down. would you stop? She's still favoring it a little bit, but I think she walked it off. So we did end up selling Ganache, and it gets blurry after that because we put on a lot of goats really fast. I do believe Sugar Pie, no, I think it was Tic Tac and Sprinkles came next, and then Puddin' and Muff, and then possibly Sugar Pie, and no, because Summer came with, I don't know, it gets blurry. It's how goat math works. You wake up one day and you have 2 goats, and then your wife says, I really love goats, and you wake up the next day and all of a sudden there's 30 goats. So yeah, that. Okay, so that's goats. All right, well, somebody's in heat. Okay. So circling back, we breed for blue-eyed polled goats. If you guys will notice, most of our bucks, they're not down here, guys. They're up there chilling in the hay pile way up at the top of the property up there. Most of our bucks are black because... What is happening? Are you drinking milk from what? Are you? I hope you can't. Please don't be in heat. Okay, that would suck big time. Okay, so we breed for blue-eyed polled. Now we each have our kind of likes within that category, but the basics of it are blue-eyed and polled. Now, we've done a really good job of putting together solid dairy lines, so we're not necessarily concerned that breeding any of our bucks to any of our girls. Mississippi, why would you do that? Mississippi. Leave it alone. Mississippi. Mississippi. What do you think of that? Why don't you just leave it alone? You rotten little turd. What are you gonna do? You're such a dork. Stop. We think our dairy lines are really good, so we don't necessarily pay too much mind to breeding which bucks to which does, other than what we're trying to achieve with colors and patterns, blue-eyed. Now, we do breed, we have a couple horned bucks that we breed to our polled girls, and we have a couple polled bucks that we breed to our horned girls, so that way we're not breeding polled to polled. Outside of that, you know, it's kind of fair game. H always has a plan for who she wants bred to whom. So H this year, somebody asked what would be the perfect pairing for her. She said she honestly doesn't know. She wants to see some babies out of Latte. We really want to see where he goes. He has a really awesome pedigree, and we definitely want to get some does out of Carmelo and Jack are almost equal on pedigree. Mello's is more defined, meaning people have put in the work to get his stars and plus Bs, and every single line on his pedigree is phenomenal. Along with this one here. So we want to get some does from Mello. I would really like a almost near perfect black blue-eyed doe from Licorice. Genji. She just bit her ear. Well, that's what happens in the goat world. Love some Licorice babies. I would love to get some silver babies going. Mochi's going to be a machine on the milk stand. Definitely want some chocolate babies. Want a nice chocolate doe with blue eyes, polled. So that kind of that's kind of where we are with that. I don't know if she has her pairings lined up yet. Probably not. She'll think about it a lot, and she'll put it on paper, and she'll mix it up and move it around and make decisions that way. We'll get it nailed down. Back to sheepy doos. No, the sheep do not mature faster than the goats. They're just bigger bodied animals, so they look bigger. As you guys know, they're not very old. I don't know their exact birth date. I don't have it off the top of my head, but they are almost, the babies are almost the size of our full-sized goats. Do we worry about them breeding? Why haven't we separated Spencer from the ladies? No. So, never say never. But the old English sheep, what they do is they only breed once a year. 99.999% of the time, somebody's going to say, no, they can breed whenever they want. If the ewes are not in heat, they're not going to breed. The ewes don't come into heat until fall, when the days start getting shorter and the weather starts cooling off. They really regulate themselves very well. They only breed once a year. We've tried other breeding cycles. We've had them in and nothing. Not saying it can't happen, just saying the way they're built, the way they're made, they don't really come into heat until fall. And that would depend on where you are. Basically, shorter days, cooler weather, then they'll start coming into heat. So not too worried about what's going on there as far as Spencer being in here. We probably will throw him over there. I do worry about throwing another buck or another ram in with Sir Fluffington, because he can be territorial, and I'm afraid that if it's another ram, he might be extra aggressive towards that ram. What will we do with the males if they don't sell? So we will make every effort to keep them intact males. If it gets down to the end of the season and it comes down to it, we will have to band them. There's really a window. I mean, as long as you can get the bander around their bits, then you can band them. And you could go as far also as having them surgically castrated. But then we'll weather them and we'll sell them as pets, which what that means is you sell them for less money. And we don't really care about that as much as trying to find them good homes, especially if it does come down to them being weathered. Keeping them on property obviously is food and maintenance. Look at you, you little stallion. So that's the answer to the bucks. We will weather them and sell them as pets and try to find them the best homes we possibly can. This is why Mama wants some more babies out of you. Your strut is just, and you're pretty. I always say he's a Couclair, guys, but he's actually a Cote Blanc, meaning he's even lighter colored. And he's got his daddy's bangs. You got your daddy Jack bangs. Wait, I don't even know if you're Jack's baby. I'm 99% sure you are. I don't know anymore. Sometimes, we have too many goats. What's up, big guy? You can tell from the beard location that I only want to pet you on top of the head. Yes. All right, guys, that is definitely going to do it for this one. I know that's a lot more, and I could answer questions all day, every day. That's going to get old quick. I'm going to do one more tomorrow where I wear my blue shirt so we can celebrate